Gente, dice Coin, estoy muy feliz porque voy a entrevistar al game director de uno de mis videojuegos favoritos, que es Splinter Cell. ¿Ah? Estoy un poco nervioso. Patrick Redding. De hecho, Patrick se parece un poquito a Sam Fisher. You look like Sam Fisher.
I have that kind of face. I look like video game characters. It's very angular.
But you.
Yeah, I can't do a split jump though. I've never even tried it. I won't.
Tell me what's new about this new Sam Fisher, because Michael Ironside was playing Sam Fisher and now.
So yeah, I mean it's we have our actor Eric Johnson. He's somebody we cast as part of a real casting process. It was because we built this new performance capture facility. We have our actors with their faces have cameras on them. We're miking them. They're doing full physical performance, and the whole cast is on set at the same time. So it really is like a set of stage actors working together. And we found a guy who we felt could embody the face, the voice, and the physicality of the character.
Nowadays, the motion capture in all games is turning very important, and I don't think that Michael Ironside could do that as a Sam Fisher who needs to climb, shoot, run.
It's funny because another way to look at it is that in the original trilogy, it's like the production values were great for the time, but they were also simpler, and the process and the pipeline for creating animations and creating performance and all that were much more limited and lower bandwidth. And so what you wanted was a voice actor who could get into the booth and create this character just with his voice, right? And the animations, of course, are beautiful in Splinter Cell, and the original Splinter Cell, and Pandora, and especially in Chaos Theory. But it's like the voice created this kind of characterization that almost elevated the quality of the last generation, right? With the current gen, it's like the standard began to go up in terms of the characterization of characters, player characters, NPCs, what have you. So suddenly you needed to be able to embed all of this other content in order to bring characters to life. Otherwise, they feel weird or uncanny, right? And so that led us to a situation where it's like, yeah, we need an actor who can play this character as opposed to someone who can do the voice.
I love multiplayer in Splinter Cell. Co-op is great.
Oh,
you really have to have one body, one good body, who knows how to play, and make a real strategy.
Yeah.
How does multiplayer co-op improves in Blacklist?
So, I mean, one thing that was great was we had a good experience producing the co-op for Conviction, in terms of we built a kind of a foundation for co-op with that game that we knew we could continue to work with. It was like people liked it, but we could still see where there was room for improvement. And so luckily we brought on board a new team that included some very experienced multiplayer designers that had a lot of really strong ideas about how to kind of add on to the set of tools that co-op players would have available to them. Well, it was also an interesting idea that brought on board, which was having paths that are only available to players if they work together to access them. And that creates new opportunities for them to collaborate and generate new strategies. So we really did an analysis, and this is something I started to do right after we shipped Conviction, and the new team continued on with, to really kind of define what the key dynamics were for interesting co-op play, particularly between two players.
We in the BD blog have a lot of fans who wish to create a game.
You know what? It has never been easier for people to make games. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about giant AAA games, but you know what? There are advantages sometimes to working on something that's small too, right? And I think what's amazing is that there are tools available to people, there are development languages that are available to people that are not terribly challenging to pick up and to start really working on real games with. There are more educational opportunities than ever before for people who want to learn about game development. So one, don't let anything be an excuse. Like if you only know a couple people who share your interest, well then take those two people, figure out who's interested in doing what, and just try it. Like there are downloadable tools and things that you can get on the web that will allow you to immediately create you know, a point-and-click adventure game, or to create a simple platformer, and the act of creating a game, even if it's not maybe your dream game, still teaches you something about game design and game mechanics. You know, there's good resources out there, and with the web in particular, it's hard. There's no shortage of opportunities to learn about this stuff. But I think that people should just try it. You know, get involved with it, an indie game jam in your community if there's something like that that's available. Play lots of indie games and smaller games, and analyze them and look at how they were created and understand where the innovation comes from, and see how it's decoupled from maybe the production values, for example, and just try it, you know, and that's the kind of thing that builds momentum. And if you have a community of people that are doing this and they get to know each other and they start to work to each other, well, then 3 people becomes 9 people becomes 90, and suddenly you have a development studio, right? Seguimos jugando. Insert coin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gracias.